vibration. Everything in life is vibration. Sounds facilitate communication in all cosmic spheres and beyond. Music is manifestation of sounds strung together in harmony that are pleasing to the senses. Life itself dances to the rhythm or music of the heart. Music enlivens, inspires, heals, and even helps one transcend the physical barriers to explore magical divinity. It is believed that music, an integral component of life, originated from absolute silence and evolved through the ages into its present form. Today, we come together to create a new harmony of music's journey in India and the world. Though the origin of music is difficult to determine, it is believed that the first sound ever produced was the Nad Brahma or sound of Brahma. For nearly last 3000 years, Vedic chants, considered as the world's oldest vocal tradition, have been practiced in Hinduism. These Vedic or religious chants in India are the recitals of hymns from the Vedas, the ancient scriptures of Hindus. The most widespread of all Vedic chants is Om. Om is the sound of silence. Om symbolizes everything. This powerful yet subtle chant fills the mind with peace, making it focused in contemplation. People meditate on its meaning and attain realization. Om is the amalgamation of the three tongueless sounds A, O, and M. The tongue is used to mix these three sounds with others to produce all the other manifestations of sound. Om is one of the most chanted sounds and auspicious symbols in Hinduism. Its profound effect on the body and mind of the one who chants and also on the surroundings is well known. Most mantras and Vedic prayers start with Om. It is said that even Lord Brahma created the world after chanting the Nad, Om, and Atha.
Nad, a Sanskrit word, means sound. When Nad is created with regular frequency, it becomes music. The two types of Nad are Ahat and Anahat. Ahat Nad can be defined as the sound which is produced due to friction between two objects, like in Veena. Other examples of Ahat Nad are sitar and tabla. Anahat Nad is the sound which is produced spontaneously without any impact or friction. It becomes audible in a state of meditation triggered by the repetitive chanting of Om or any of the Vedic chants. Seers and sages successfully identified this vibration only after prolonged meditation, which gave them access to the divinity beyond the physical. Our ancient scholars have defined Sangeet as Geetam Vadyam Tatha Nrityam Trayam Sangeetam Muchyate, meaning that the three basic elements of music are singing, playing, and dancing. Sangeet is the art of combining sounds to please the senses. From ancient times till recently, Indian music was broadly classified into Margi Sangeet and Desi Sangeet. Desa means region. Desi Sangeet was regional music that was meant to please the hearts of men and was related to the common people. It is the music of the people, by the people, and for the people. Kala Shah Kala, Kala Shah Kala, Mera Kala hi Sardar, Goryanu dafa karo, Goryanu dafa karo, main aap tile di taar, Kala Shah Kala. Marg Sangeet or Margi music literally means music of the path. It refers to music regulated by strict rules, or in other words, governed by a path. It was the sacred music of mantras prevalent during the Vedic times that was bound by a rigid grammar. Marg Sangeet is the musical path to moksha. It is the ancient class of music that precedes the time of Natya Shastra, dating back to approximately 500 BCE. Marg signifies something which is chaste and classical. Lord Shiva himself is said to have taught Marg Sangeet on his veena to the sages in his Sri Dakshinamurti form.
The origin of Indian classical music dates back to the sacred Vedic scriptures over 3000 years ago, when chants or mantras developed a system of musical notes and rhythmic cycles. These musical notes evolved over a period of time into swaptaswaras and ragas. Indian classical music has developed over many centuries into a glorious art form which can now be found in all corners of the world. Using a variety of melodic entities or ragas, ornamentation of notes, and rhythmic patterns, it unites the performer and the listener in the experience of emotions or bhav. Initially, there was only one system of music prevalent throughout India, but after the 13th century, due to the many geopolitical upheavals, it was divided into two parts. Currently, in India, there are two different systems of Indian music known as Hindustani or Northern System of Music and Carnatic or Southern System of Music. Carnatic music originated in South India, whereas Hindustani music in North India. Hindustani music is an amalgamation of Vedic, Islamic, and Persian traditions, whereas Carnatic music has retained its originality untouched by external influences. Carnatic music has a restrained, intellectual, and devotional character as compared with the more secular Hindustani traditions. It emphasizes on undiluted lyrics, especially in Sanskrit and Telugu, that eulogize Ishvara skillfully and embraces the Vedas, unlike Hindustani music, which is more about skill. Carnatic Sangeet is also called singing Upveda. Violin, mridangam, tambura, ghatam, and morsing are the major forms of instruments in Carnatic music, while in Hindustani music, they are the tabla, sarangi, sitar, and santoor. The major vocal forms of Hindustani music are dhrupad, khayal, tarana, thumri, dadra, and ghazals. Carnatic music includes several varieties of improvisations such as alapna, neraval, kalpana swaram, and ragam thanam pallavi. Here is a wonderful rendition of ragam thanam pallavi. Hindustani music has various gharanas like Lucknow, Agra, Jaipur, and Kirana, though Carnatic music has no such gharanas. Since Hindustani music evolved from the Carnatic Sangeet, they share a common basis. Though the former has evolved over the centuries, it has retained its originality despite the many extraneous influences owing to the many invasions of the subcontinent. As such, there are many common ragas which make fusion of the two quite natural. We hope you enjoy this Jugalbandi of Hansad Dhwani.
पज बीजापुरम भुज पज बीजापुरम कलुष विदूरम भूताकारम करम भुज पज बीजापुरम कलुष विदूरम भूताकारम अनादि गुरु गुहदोषित बिंबम हंसध्वनि भूषितैरम
It is interesting to note that Indian classical music is very closely associated with nature, taking inspiration from natural phenomena including seasons and times of the day to create rags or musical moods, and many times cycles or tals that have been further codified. We at Vellum provide an opportunity to our students to connect with their roots by exposing them to various indigenous art forms, besides providing them a global perspective. In Indian music, we follow the Hindustani Sangeet with all its sanctity and classicism. Today, we would like to share some insights of this form with you. Some of the major vocal forms associated with Hindustani classical Sangeet are the Dhrupad, Dhamar, Khayal, and Tarana. The most famous musical instruments used with Hindustani Sangeet are sitar and tabla, with the lesser known sarangi and esraj. Sitar is also extensively used in Hindi film music.
Khayal has a special place in Indian music. This word in Urdu means idea or imagination. Khayal can be played in hundreds of ragas and improvised on the basis of artistic preference, vocal quality, nature of the composition, and time of the day of the performance. Khayal is performed in several talas, some being teen tal, ek tal, and Odak tal. Khayal originated in the 18th century. In this period, people began to sing the Khayal. This movement was spearheaded by two great musicians, Sadarang and Adarang. With the passage of time, Khayal gained mass acceptance in northern India. It needs to be pointed out that as a vocal form in Hindustani music, Tarana was developed by Amir Khusro. Tarana best represents the vocalist's urge to move away from song text into the realm of instrumental music. It is often used in ensemble presentations featuring Carnatic and Hindustani musicians. The Tilana is a Carnatic equivalent of the North Indian Tarana, but it does not include Persian verses.
oldest known style of Hindustani classical music with ancient roots and traditionally performed by male singers is the Drupad. The origin of Drupad is linked to the recitation of Samved, the sacred Sanskrit text. Spiritual in nature, Drupad seeks not only to entertain but to induce deep feelings of peace and contemplation in the listener. The two major components of Drupad are the Alap and Drupad. Alap is sheer music, song lyrics, whereas Drupad with lyrics is sung to the accompaniment of a pakhavaj. To quote Ustad Zia Fariduddin Dagar, Alap entails the surge to get the most perfect pitch of every note. It takes you into a sort of meditation in which you are lost in the waves of sound and forget everything. There remains only sound. Since the 18th century, tabla has been the principal percussion instrument in Hindustani classical music. It may be played solo or as accompaniment with other instruments, vocal and dance music, and as a part of larger ensembles. Hela, meaning a rushing stream or torrent, is a theme and variation composition performed torrentially at higher speed.
A bandish or rachna that is played with loud resonant syllables of tabla and ends in a tihai is called tukda, meaning piece. It is usually played at high. Paran, a treasure among tabla compositions, originally belongs to the repertoire of the Pakhavaj. These compositions are energetic and resonant. Both the tabla and sitar are the widely used musical instruments in Hindustani music. A fine instrument that is in vogue even today, sitar enjoys a place of pride in Vellum. The word sitar is derived from the Persian word sehtar, meaning three-stringed. Sitar appears to have descended from long-necked lutes taken from India, Central Asia, and different kinds of veenas. Sitar, known for generating a wonderful vibratory tone, is an integral part of Hindustani classical music. One of the most popular stringed instruments in India, it is used for solo instrumental performances with the tabla and talpura. Mizrab, commonly made of thick steel or brass wire, is a plectrum used to play the sitar. The two main forms of music played on sitar are Masid Khani Gat or slow composition and Raza Khani Gat or fast composition. Amir Khusro played an important role in popularizing the sitar in 13th century ACE. Pandit Ravi Shankar, Ustad Vilayat Khan and Pandit Nikhil Banerjee are some of the renowned sitarists who have mesmerized music lovers across the world.
The lighter form of Indian classical music, not bound by very strict rules, is the semi-classical music or Sangeet. This includes bhajan, thumri, kajri, chaiti, ghazal and dadra, etc. The Sanskrit bhaj means attachment or devotion. Bhajan, a semi-classical form of music, refers to any devotional song with a religious theme or spiritual ideas. As a genre of music and art, bhajans were composed anonymously during the Bhakti movement in the medieval times. Bhajan has no prescribed form or set rules. It is normally lyrical and based on melodic rags. M.S. Subbulakshmi, Anuradha Paudwal and Anup Chalota are some of the world-famous bhajan singers.
चाकर राखो जी मने चाकर राखो जी मने चाकर राखो जी चाकर राखो चाकर राखो चाकर राखो जी मने चाकर राखो जी मने चाकर राखो जी.
Connected with Kathak dance, mild eroticism, evocative love poetry, and folk songs, especially in Awadhi or Braj Bhasha, is a flexible and sensual vocal genre, thumri. The term thumri is derived from the Hindi word thumakna,
which means to walk with dancing steps. A variant of Thumri that evolved in Benares stressed on the emotional interpretation of songs' texts. Bade Ghulam Ali Khan and Ustad Rashid Khan are some of the great Thumri artists. We now have Ustad Rashid Khan singing the Thumri. A light classical vocal form in Hindustani classical music, Dadra is mostly performed in Agra and Bundelkhand region. Dadra is a speedier version of Thumri. Decorated with sthai and more than 2 antras, it depicts human love and sentiments through the love of Radha and Krishna.
The word Kajri comes from kajal or kohl, referring to the dark color of the clouds or kohl smeared eyes. Kajrare Nain, a popular phrase, is immortalized in several pieces of music and poetry as well as Bollywood songs. With its origin in Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, Kajri is notably sung during the rainy season in the forms of Sawan, Jhula and Viraha. The simple lyrics, rhyme scheme and melody make Kajri an extremely popular musical genre. Some famous contemporary Kajri singers were Siddheshwari Devi and Girija Devi. Here is another performance by Girija Devi singing Kajri.
बरसन लागी बदरिया रूम झूम के 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 बरसन लागी बदरिया.
Chaiti is sung during the holy Hindu calendar month of Chait. These season-specific songs from Uttar Pradesh and Bihar mostly revolve around the festivities of Holi and Ram Navami. Some of the famous patrons of Chaiti are Shobha Gutru and Pandit Channu Lal Mishra. Here we have creativity at its best, clearly illustrating through various brilliant renditions of Chaiti by Pandit Channu Lal Mishra how Hindustani music allows one to experiment within the given discipline of the classical form.
चैती गाने का अंदाज होता है, चैता चैती घाटो, ये सब कैसे गाया जाता है? पहले से 3 प्रकार से उठन होता है. से जिया से सैयारो ठीक गए न हो रामा कोयल तोरी बोलिया, एक प्रकार. दूसरा से जिया से सैयारो ठीक गए न हो रामा कोयल तोरी बोलिया. तीसरा अरे से जिया से सैयारो ठीक गए हो रामा कोयल तोरी बोलिया बोलिया से जिया से सैयारो ठीक गए.
Supposedly, the name ghazal comes from the sound a wounded gazelle makes as it dies. Ghazals with roots in Arabic, Urdu, Hindi and Hebrew are often about rakish celebration of wine, women and song, remorse over lost love and separation with the loved ones. Divided into rhyming couplets called bayats, Ghazals are sung to the accompaniment of harmonium, santoor, sarangi, sitar, tabla and rabab. The form gained prominence in the 13th and 14th ACE thanks to poets as Rumi and Hafiz. Ghazal gained popularity in India in the 18th century with the recognized master Mirza Ghalib. Shah Muhammad Wali Ullah is considered as the father of Urdu Ghazal. Other exponents of this genre include Mehendi Hasan, Ustad Ghulam Ali and Jagjit Singh. Here is a performance by Ustad Ghulam Ali singing a ghazal which is an all-time favorite.
चुपके चुपके रात में आंसू बहाना याद है चुपके चुपके रात दिन आंसू बहाना याद है हमको अब तक आशिकी का वो ज़माना याद है चुपके चुपके रात दिन आंसू बहाना याद।
It is said, you need three things in a musical performance: the music, the performers, and the audience, and each one must give something. The performers bow before and after their performances to express gratitude to their audience, instruments, and co-artists. They sit on the floor and place shawls on their laps to cover their feet. Their attire also suits the occasion or the event. Indian musicians tug at their ears while mentioning their seniors to express their respect for them. Conforming to the Guru Shishya Parampara, where their relationship is one of spiritual reciprocity, students always sit at a lower level than their gurus, exhibiting their obedience and devotion. The audiences attending an Indian musical performance are expected to be punctual and on their best behavior. They sit on the same level as performers to ensure maximum interaction with the performers, who welcome continuous inspiration and appreciation. Even today, some senior maestros ask for auditorium lights to be left on. Though shoes are allowed during concerts nowadays, unlike the past, reclining or slouching during a performance in one seat is still considered bad manners. The audience must refrain from clicking photographs, shooting videos during live performances.
तो मैं फोटोग्राफर्स लोगों को बता देना चाहता हूं कि हम आपके लिए मॉडलिंग करने नहीं आए हैं, हम लोगों के लिए प्रोग्राम बजाने आए हैं और ऑडियंस और हम सब मिलके सरस्वती की पूजा करने आए हैं।
Like everything else, there has been much exchange of music and other aspects of culture at the international level. Globalization of old and rich traditional Indian music has helped it transcend all geographical and political confines, resulting in many collaborations worldwide among musicians in the fields of classical, jazz, and popular music. Interactions occurred between Western explorers and Indian musicians in the 16th and 17th centuries. These included the ones with the famous philologist Sir William Jones, who carried out serious studies of Indian music. Indian music in all its myriad forms is now established as a significant cultural strand of the international fabric of music. Pandit Ravi Shankar was almost single-handedly responsible for popularizing Indian music in the West, partially through his brilliant showmanship while performing for Western audiences, and in part because of his association with George Harrison of the Beatles. The Beatles included sitar and tabla in some of their songs, most famous being the sitar melody in Norwegian Wood, played by George Harrison himself, who studied from Pandit Ravi Shankar in 1966.
In 1978, Pandit Ravi Shankar also collaborated with several prominent Japanese musicians, Osamu Yamamoto, a shakuhachi player, and Susumu Miyashita, a koto player, on East Greets East. Ustad Ali Akbar Khan was one of India's most accomplished classical musicians. He was admired by both Eastern and Western musicians for his brilliant compositions and his mastery of the sarod. Ustad Ali Akbar Khan further elevated the status of his instrument, the tabla, both in India and around the world. Another artist who has globally popularized Indian music, especially bhajans and kirtans, is Dr. John Borthwick Higgins.
Shri Krishna Jagado Dharaka Jagado Dharaka Nam Jagado Dharaka Nam Ravi Shri Krishna Krishna
Pakistan-born Adnan Sami was the first person to play Indian classical music on electric piano. Though jazz and Indian classical music seem to have little in common, Indian music's influence on jazz is pervasive and long-standing. Among major jazz artists most directly influenced by Indian music are saxophonist John Coltrane and guitarist John McLaughlin. This celebratory song or tarana without lyrics inspired by Indian classical forms is presented in contemporary rock fashion, wherein the predominant rag used is Malhar.
Dhire na, dhire na, tom tanana dhire na. धीरे ना तोम तरन धीरे ना धीरे ना तोम तरन धीरे ना उदन धीम तदन धीम तन धीरे ना उदन धीम तदन धीम तन धीरे ना धीम तनो धनो धनो.
We at Dwellum have always endorsed global music.
As evident from the video, Dwellum upholds its tradition of inclusivity in all walks of life. Music, being the very soul of Dwellum, vibrates in each and every nook and corner of the campus. The strumming of the guitar, the notes of the sitar, the beats of the tabla and drums, the melodies of the piano, the voices of the vocalists all resonate here to create our very own global musical village. Thank you.